Folks. Well, look, let's get started. Welcome, everybody. My name is Bill Cope. I'm one of the people who began this conference. I can't believe this is 21 years now. It's been a long, long time, actually. So great to have you all with us this time, and great to have an in-person conference. We had a couple of years when there was nothing in person because of the COVID business as well. So, as I say, my name is Bill Cope. I work at the University of Illinois, and the Common Ground is a not-for-profit which is based in the research park at the University of Illinois. So welcome everybody. Great to see you all here at the conference. And just to give you a little kind of background about the conference, people kind of wring their hands all the time about the future of the humanities and the destiny of the humanities. So this is one of these things where we try and reflect on what the relevance and future directions of the humanities are. And of course, the humanities are at the center of a whole lot of changes around digital transformations, around media transformations. When we're talking about literary landscapes, what is literary these days in the context of multiple media forms? And also in terms of a whole lot of social issues around diversity and inequality. To what extent does the world of the humanities deal with these issues in ways which are different from the ways in which the humanities dealt with them in the past? They're just sort of speaking very roughly about what some of the themes are. So although the major theme of this conference is literary landscapes, of course, the people at the conference, that's just a special theme we've got, cover a whole huge range of issues. What I'm going to do in this session, or the plan for this session, is do a little bit of an intro to the conference and how it works. I'm going to get you folks who are here to introduce yourselves, and you might like to mention just very, very briefly what brings you to the conference, and if you're giving a session, tell us a tiny bit about that session. But let me just start off by giving you, and also what I need to do is to introduce you to Tamsin Gilbert. Tamsin is on site at the conference at the Sorbonne in Paris. I'm not on site. I'm still in Illinois. Which is every bit as exciting as being in Paris. No, I'm just being facetious. So anyhow, and then after we've done the intros, I'm going to hand over to Tamsin, who's going to walk you through the platform. We built this platform during the COVID period as a way to just keep going, even when we were remote, but we've kept it and built a model of a blended conference. And just to give you a sense of the scale of the conference and the number of people, we have about 300 people attending in person in Paris at the Sorbonne, but we have 100 people who are online. So it's wonderful to have you there. And a total of, would you believe, 48 different countries. So this is very much an international conversation in the spirit of the humanities, in the spirit of, kind of international cross-cultural dialogue. And we have two language strands. We have one strand that's in English and one strand that's in Spanish. But in the nature of a blended conference, we have, I think Tamsin just mentioned to me that there were a couple of hundred, I think, of the sessions which are online, which are, in a blended format. We very much encourage the people who are presenting in person also to upload digital media, and a very large number of those have. So that's a kind of a little background to the format. Also, what I want to mention is we also have so there's the conference, there's the digital media at the conference, but we also have the journal and the book series. And I'm just bringing that up now. So what the idea is that you folks will present at the conference, but if you're presenting the conference, you might like to then submit to the journal. So what we're doing is we're building a peer-reviewed knowledge network, knowledge community. So and so you can then publish your work into the journal. We also take book proposals as well. So, you know, that's kind of about building a formal bank of knowledge that goes with the work that you folks are doing. So with that, and I'm going to put actually a link in quickly into the chat. So everybody, if you've got a chance to have a look at this link, have a look. We've actually, since this conference and research network began, we've actually published 3,397 pieces of work, and that includes 55 books. So as members of the research network, you have access to that whole body of content. And one of the things we really encourage people to do is to use that resource and to cite from it. One of the ways which we honor each other in academia is by citing each other's work. And you'll see, if you take that link that I put in the chat, that there's an advanced search option there. So almost invariably, even if you're doing something very specific, there's going to be something which is closely linked to what the work that you're doing. One bit of advice I have, by the way, is go to unlikely sessions. You never know what the connections might be. You know, invariably they're going to be intrinsically interesting, but you might be surprised about some lateral connections you might be able to make. The other thing I want to say as well is be sure never to leave one of the online sessions without leaving a comment. So this is substantially an asynchronous conference, but by leaving a comment, it triggers an email to the speaker and the other participants. So always leave a comment when you go there. That's very much appreciated, and that's the way to build dialogue. So one of the advantages of this format, by the way, is that everybody can you know, everybody can speak, you know, in an in-person conference session, and it's rushed at the end, and one person only or two people can ask a question, and there's not that space for ongoing dialogue. So here we've got all the space in the world, and we're really encouraging all the people who are on site also to participate in this online environment because of the, you know, the openness of the discussion. So that's a quick introduction. Tamsin, are there any important things in terms of the overall format and themes of the conference that I haven't mentioned, that I should have mentioned?
No, I think you've covered everything, and I'll go into the details and practicalities of engaging online a little bit later after everyone introduces themselves.
All right, so I'm going to go around the room and I'm going to mention people's names. And if you are in a noisy Starbucks or you can't, you don't have a microphone that's working, feel free just to put a chat in the comment and whatever. But I'm going to go around and just mention the tile names and get you to do a brief introduction to yourself. So the first person I have is Beverly Pratt. Hi, Beverly. How are you? Are you able to say hello briefly?
Hello. Hi, Bo. Hi, Tamsin, and everybody else. Yes, I am quickly. I've just got in from Cape Town in South Africa. I'm speaking on the genocide in Rwanda, a traditional literary presentation, but mixed with some comments from also broadening my interest into the general humanities as well. I'm a returning grad student, and this is part of a bigger project. That's mine, and I'm speaking on Friday. Thank you.
Wonderful, welcome. It's great to see you there. I can see that in your session you've already had 57 engagements, which is just wonderful. And I think, if I'm not wrong, I can see you have digital media there as well, which is fantastic.
Thank you.
And thank you for being one of the emerging scholars that helps us at the conference, sharing sessions as well. So I hope it's a very fruitful conference.
Thank you.
You know, here we've got a connection between the literary world and one of the tragedies of the last few decades. So thank you for being here. The next one I have in my tiles is J.M. Bello. Are you able to speak? Would you like to say hello? If not, I can skip on to the next person. Okay, the next person I have, I can come back to you, by the way, just put a comment in the chat if you're able to say hello, is Kavita Mehra. Kavita, are you able to speak?
Hello, William. Yes, I am able to speak. I can briefly introduce myself. So I'm presenting a major part of my master's thesis on Friday, which is on cultural memory and the partition of the Indian subcontinent from 1947, and just like the tragedy and the exodus that it caused. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And I've made the journey from London this morning.
Oh, wonderful. And you're there in person as well. So if you're not
Yes, I'm
engaged,
there in person.
if you are able to make a recording of your session, that would be really appreciated. You just sort of simply get on your computer or use Zoom or something or other, or you can just put in if you've got a PowerPoint, you can just put that in as well. That gives people who are online a chance to participate in that session as well. But anyhow, yeah. Again, another one of these horrific 20th century tragedies, and it's interesting. It looks, like a really powerful analysis you've got there using Norman Fairclough's critical discourse analysis. So wonderful. Great to have you with us. And methodologically, the discourse analysis stuff is an interesting phenomenon as well. So even if people, this is not a topic they're literally interested in, discourse analysis is important for anybody in the humanities. So wonderful. Okay, next person I have who's joined us is Ivan Mendez. Ivan Mendez, I think that's what the name is there. Are you able to introduce yourself briefly?
Hello.
Ivan?
Hello. Hello.
And where are you from, and what brings you to the conference, Ivan?
And the problem is speaking it in English.
You're in the Spanish stream. So
Spanish sprechen and Spanish and
wonderful.
and the French.
Okay, we're wonderful. So wonderful to have you and all the other folks in the Spanish stream as well.
No problem. My presentation is in vivo tomorrow in Paris.
Yes, great.
Yes,
Excellent.
sí.
Okay.
No, only see, heute. Only es escuchar. Sistema.
Okay.
Yeah. Next.
Okay, well, wonderful. Great to have you here. And for those people who are lucky enough to be bilingual in English and Spanish, there are all those extra, all those sessions there. Okay.
Merci.
Wonderful. The next one that I have going through is someone who's just named themselves Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan. How are you?
Hello, William. Yes, sorry, it's taken me a moment to unmute myself. Can you hear me?
Yes, hear you well.
Okay, I'm Jonathan Peck. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. So I've flown 26 hours to be here. And I'm speaking on Thursday. I've got a session named Can the Walls Really Talk? It's an investigation of modern office architecture and its impacts on us, using a mixture of spatial theory and communication theory as the framework. So I'm looking forward to presenting that on Thursday. I have a background actually in history, so I'm interested in everything that's in a lot of the speakers at this conference. I'll be all ears.
Wonderful. Yeah, what an interesting topic. I dare say there's a book called Cubed. Do you know that book? Which is a history of how people are put in these little cells in the office. So yeah, that's a great topic and interesting, to think of that from a humanities perspective as well. So great to have you here. And also thank you very much for putting in the digital media. That'll really be very helpful for everybody in person, but also the people who are online. And again, I'm going to say to everybody, never leave one of these digital, these online sessions without leaving a comment. And even if you, by the way, even if you're sitting in an in-person session, bring up that page and type your comments in as well. It's great to have a record of the discussion. Anyhow, you can probably tell that I have an Australian accent as well, Jonathan.
Yes, I did pick that up.
I don't know how far it is to how far you've come. So, okay, the next person I have here is Yaneth Beltran. How are you, Yaneth? Okay, may not be able to speak. No worries. I will then move on to the next person, which is Vitor Sosta.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me? I
Yes,
don't know
we can
if
hear you
it's
well.
working. Yes, thank you. So I'm a PhD student at the University of Campinas in Brazil, and I'll just be participating online. And my presentation will be about a possible relationship between literature and cinema. And I'm really happy to take part in this Congress. Thank you.
Fantastic. And I visited your university just before COVID, actually. I have a wonderful
Really?
colleague, you may or may not know, Petrelson Pinheiro, who works in languages. I don't know whether you know him.
Oh, I think I've heard about him. Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, I know him from me. So,
Great.
so yeah, it's a small world, isn't it? So yes, I'm just looking at your session now, which is reading the present time reflections based on Yoga de Sena. And I can see you've got your digital media there, which is just wonderful. So great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Okay, who do I have now? Now, these tiles have jumped about a bit, so I hope I'm not going to miss anything. Manuela Catala. Again, if I'm asking someone who's in the Spanish language session and you're uncomfortable with English, we can just jump on. You can just put a comment in the chat, or it looks like it could be a Spanish language speaker.
Hello.
Hello, how are you, Manuela?
Hello, my name is Manuela Catalá. I'm from Spain, and I'm a teacher in San Jorge University in Zaragoza. My English is no good, sorry. And my lines of research are about the description of the use of the Spanish language. And I'm only participating online in the Congress.
Okay, well, great. Wonderful to have you online. Okay, so let's move on now to the next tile that I have is Karen McGurk.
Hi, good evening, afternoon. I'm from South Africa, in Pretoria, from the University of South Africa, and we're in a fully online educational environment. And even though I won't be a speaker at the conference, I'm really excited about the variety of topics, because I've been given a really big information literacy module and asked to develop something about multi-literacy pedagogy for supporting heritage management and reading as activity and so on. So I'm really excited. I can't wait for tomorrow to start. I wish I could be there in person, but maybe next time. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Well, it's great to have you with us, and I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy all the sessions. So that's great.
Karen, next year we'll be in Rome, so hopefully you
is
can
in
join
Rome.
us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be
Oh,
wonderful.
lovely. I hope.
Okay, so the next person I have is Milo. Milo, are you able to introduce yourself briefly?
Yes, Milo Shield from the US in Florida, hurricane capital. I presented at the second conference, 2004, on problems, and I argued then that humanities were really being undercut by philosophy with a naturalistic fallacy. You can't derive an ought from an is, which really handicapped. And they had tremendous competition from the social sciences because they had quantitative relationships, whereas the humanities seem to specialize in the qualities of things. And so I'm presenting a new gen ed course that's being offered in the US at the University of New Mexico and by the math department, which talks about statistics in context in a way that a humanities faculty or student can evaluate quantitative claims, because they seem immutable like arithmetic, but I'm arguing they aren't. So I'm online, looking forward to the conference.
Wow, that's really important there. Really interesting. So 2004, was that in Prato in Italy?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, great. I was there too. So yeah, that was a great conference. So yes, now obviously very important. You know, this is an area where, you know, the quantitative is being privileged, but the question is how it interfaces with human agendas. That's a really profoundly important point, and important for everybody in the humanities to think about those connections. So great that you're able to be with us this time. So that's really wonderful. I can see you've got your digital media in there already, which is great. Okay, next person I have is Leonardo Cascal.
Hi, I'm Leonardo. I'm participating online. I'm moderating one of the sessions called Voices Across Time and Space. And so far I've tried to see as many as I could and make a few comments there to start the discussion. And it's very interesting what's going on there.
Yeah, fascinating. Oh, that's great. And thank you for being with us, and thank you for being part of the moderation process. So that's really wonderful. The next person I have is Supriya Vajal. I probably pronounced that incorrectly.
Yeah, it's Supriya.
Supriya, okay, there we go.
Yeah. And Supriya means somebody who's loved by everybody. That's what my name means.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
yeah. So I'm a fresh PhD graduate. I just was awarded my degree in February 2023. And I work in children's literature and lit theory. So I'm presenting a paper from my, an extension of my thesis, a portion, something from my thesis in the conference. I'm doing a cross-cultural analysis of Ged and Karn. I'm comparing their characters, and I'm trying to, find some sort of meeting ground between these two characters, because most people are familiar with Lee Guin, but I don't think many people know about Rashmi Rathi, or for that matter, about Ramdhari Singh Dinkar. He's a very important modern poet, Indian poet. So I thought I would present a paper on that.
Excellent. Well, wonderful. Thank you very much for that. And what a great example of sort of East-West cross-cultural comparison, as well, exactly the sort of work we need to do in the humanities. I can see you've had 115 people land on your page already. That's really great. Okay, next one I have is Gay Rawson. Hi there, Gay.
Hello, everyone. My name's Gay Ross, and I'm a professor of French, chair of world languages at Concordia College. It's a small private liberal arts college in Minnesota in the United States. And I'm supposed to be presenting. I have not uploaded my things. I actually had surgery, and the recovery just isn't quite going as fast as I might have dreamt, but I'm hoping to finish and get my things to you as soon as possible. And if not, I look forward to hearing from others. But my presentation is supposed to be a sort of a case study of a review we did of the humanities at Concordia. And so some of the themes you all mentioned, trying to revitalize the humanities or think about what they might look like in the 21st century, rather than doing a review of our individual departments, which is necessary for our accreditation, we decided to do all of the humanities together, and it brought together some interesting synergies. So that I was going to share some of what we learned as part of our review process.
Great. That's look, really important. So this sounds like a really rich case study of trying to come to grips with what directions we should be taking in the humanities and how we advance them. So that sounds really, really helpful. I hope you're recovering reasonably well, reasonably quickly. And look, if you don't manage to get it in, it sounds like you should. It's a great journal article. There are multiple ways to share stuff in this research network, but hopefully you will get it in some digital media, even if it's something lightweight where you talk informally, just make a little recording and put a video
Well,
in.
that's good to hear. I will do that then right away this afternoon. I can't type. So I had my, slides that I was trying to finish up, but maybe I shall just abandon ship and talk through it with you all. And that way I can have at least something. So thank you for that suggestion.
Yeah. Don't feel intimidated by this having to be a very formal presentation. Just if there's something there where you can talk to people,
okay,
I'd really appreciate that. And then you've got an opportunity later on to form it up as a peer-reviewed article in a formal kind of way. So that'd be great.
All right, sounds good.
The next person that I have here in my Zoom tiles is M. Frios. Okay. So, oh yeah, there we go. Is there somebody? No. And the last person is, there's somebody just connecting now. People have come and gone through this session. So, but look, I think what I might do is, I think if I've forgotten anybody, is anybody who, because the tiles have been shifting around a bit, I hope I haven't missed anybody. Anybody I've missed? Anyhow, look, that gives us all a very good sense of the range of places people are coming from, the range of themes, but also you can see there are all sorts of crossovers happening here as well, some of which become sometimes unexpected. So as I say, go to a range of different types of sessions. So last words from me before I hand over to Tamsin. Tamsin is going to walk you all through how to use the platform. But and also what I want to do is I want to welcome those who are watching this as a recording. So people are all over the world, different time zones, and we find that we've got what, 300-400 people at this conference and all, that people really mostly access the asynchronous sessions. So that's just the way it's panned out. But I'm really glad you folks are all here in person. But also I want to welcome the people who will later on be watching this recording. So the thing I would like to do now is just end with a few reminders. Please, starting working backwards from the journal, we'd love you to put in presentation or write journal articles, participate in the peer review process. This is a knowledge community where we get everybody to share their work and share their thoughts. Use the resource that's there in the journal and all the books that we've produced over the years. Use that resource, cite it. But also, most importantly, at this conference, and I'm going to say it again, I've said it too many times, is go to the digital sessions, whether you're there in person or not. Even if you're sitting there in person, bring up this page and make sure you type in comments. And it does, even though the comments are asynchronous, it does trigger an email to the other participants in the conversation and the speaker for them to respond to you. So I think I've covered everything. Tamsin, anything else you think I might have missed?
No, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
Okay, so I'll leave you to it and wish everybody a really great.
Yep, I'm just gonna, can you just give me a thumbs up and let me know that you can see my screen?
We can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So there are a number of different ways. So what I'm just going to do is go through the CGScholar microsite, the event schedule, and let you know how to engage in the online portion of the conference for both online only and in-person delegates. So there's a number of different ways to get to the microsite. One could be just going from, I clicked on too many. It's trying to be organized and I've now got too many tabs open. So let me just bring up Humanities Research Network and go to the 23 conference. And you can just click on event microsite guide there, event microsite there. It will take you to the about page. The about page includes a number of different pieces of information. You can go ahead and click, you'll have to forgive me as well that we're at the Sorbonne here at the conference venue. It's a beautiful building, wait till you see it, but the internet's a little slow. So if anything comes up a little slowly, we'll see how we go. But you can click this, it'll download a PDF e-program and conference user guide. It's basically information about the conference that you can download, welcome letters from the Research Network chair and information like that. But all this information that I'm saying about how to access the conference online is also at the end of the guide there. So how to get up to the event schedule and all that type of stuff. So the second piece of information here is make sure you're signed in. If you go to this event schedule over here and your name does not appear in the top right, you're not going to be able to see any of the digital media. So please make sure to sign in. If you go to cgscholar.com and you're not signed in, you'll have a login here. If you are logged in, it'll appear like this with this log out button. That's there. Oh, I've skipped ahead a little bit. Sorry about that. I don't have a proposal for this conference. If you do have a proposal, it will not say submit a proposal, it will say your proposal. And that is, oh, sorry, I've zoomed in. That at the bottom of that page is where you will upload your digital media for the conference. Now, All online only participants participate via digital media upload. These sessions are asynchronous, and it is through the digital media upload that you present. There is no live online only Zoom sessions for these parallel online only sessions. It's through digital media. If you have any trouble uploading, please email us at support@cgnetworks.org. You don't just have to upload one piece of digital media. You can upload multiple things. You can upload a PDF, you can upload a PowerPoint presentation, you can upload a PowerPoint presentation with a voiceover, you can upload a sound file, a graphic file, you can upload an MP4 video, you can embed from YouTube and Vimeo. So there's a number of different ways that you can present throughout the conference via digital media. For the online only delegates, it's required that way to present. For the in-person delegates, we do actually also ask you to upload if possible. That way the online only delegates can really have a richer experience, and you can also have more feedback from a variety of people. I'm not sure if Bill mentioned this at the start now, but we have over 48 countries represented at this conference. So there will be people online at all different times of day. Your registration isn't exactly what it sounds like. It's your registration. Yours will look a little bit different to mine because mine's just a complimentary one, but yours will have the amount, how you paid. You can go ahead and click that button to download the receipt. Presentations. Everyone's presentation page, I'm just going to close these other tabs because they're not needed. Sorry. Maybe I've confused things now by pressing too many things at once. I'll press the presentation page. Sorry, like I said, was a beautiful building, slow internet. It's working, it's just working a little slowly. So this following page, this tab here on the presentations page, you will be able to customize that to your following presentations. So when we get over to the event schedule, I'll let you know how to follow presentations, but this will look different to everyone, depending on which presentations you choose to follow. Featured presentations. We have a fantastic group of in-person and online emerging scholars. We like to highlight their work on the featured presentations tab. They really are sort of the spine of the conference, asking questions not only in the discussion boards, but moderating sessions here in person. So we like to highlight them there. By theme, if you're, for example, only interested in sessions related to the special focus, you can go ahead and scroll down here, go through the different themes until we find the special focus there. And so then you can look at that listing. One thing I do want to say here, and we're going to use Antonio's presentation as an example, is two things. Clicking on the title of that presentation from this page will take you the abstract and show you the digital media. We can see Antonio doesn't have any, but what I can do is go ahead and click that button. The page will reload. And you will it will say this presenter has now been notified of your request, and you'll be following that presentation because it's asking you to unfollow. Now, Antonio is now going to receive an email, lucky him, from me, from CGScholar via me, that says someone is interested in seeing your digital media. When Antonio uploads that digital media, I, as the requester, will receive an email saying, this has now been uploaded. Just so you know, if you want to request something, you don't have to sort of keep an eye on it and go back. You should receive an email. So now we can see that under my, I maybe have to reload it, sorry, because I pressed back, that I should now, unless I unfollowed it while I was talking to you, should now be following Antonio's presentation. There it is. So this following tab is really a way for you to get back quickly to presentations that are in your interests, and that you want to see more than once, perhaps, without scrolling through the event schedule. Alphabetical is kind of exactly what it sounds like. It's alphabetical. And there's just the special events page. This is where you can sign up for special events. This is the session we're in now. Okay, schedule. Let's go through this together so I can show you the details. Here we are today in the online only welcome training session. You can go ahead and click on the title of any of these presentations and it will open up a description. This is the Zoom link for the meeting that we're in now. This is also going to be uploaded as digital media. Once it's uploaded, it will appear here at the bottom of the page. Any session that has live online only in the tab is a live in the sense that it's a Zoom session online. If you've signed up for the online only tour, you would have received the email with the details for that. So that is this evening. I believe we might be full for that one. Day one. So this morning, geez, I need another coffee. I'm a bit jet lagged too. Tomorrow morning, registration starts at 8 o'clock. Please come to the address listed there. Come inside. It's a sort of a courtyard area, and registration is on the other side of the courtyard. We'll then have the conference opening and the first plenary session of the day, followed by a coffee break. The talking circles, we have both in person and online. They're similar to this in the sense that they're sort of casual introductory sessions, but we also like to focus them around the themes of the conference. So as you can see there, one talking circle will be on critical cultural studies, one will be on humanities education, one on civic, political and community studies, and one on the special focus. This is an in-person session, we can see, because it's on the in-person tab here with the 28th of June. We can see this is the moderator for that session. If I go ahead and click on that title, it will take me to a listing of all 3 presentations. As we can see here, anyone who has the view digital media button next to their title there has digital media uploaded. So if you see that little blue box, you can go ahead and see what they've got there. We can see that this presentation has a PowerPoint, which you go ahead and click, and that'll open up on my desktop. It'll download, and well, depending on where your downloads go, mine go to my desktop. If you're an online only presenter and you want to ask a question, each one of this is the same as online only sessions. Each one of these themed panels has one discussion board. So if you have a question for any one of these panelists, you can ask that in the discussion board here. Then we'll go down. I want to know, I'm just checking to see if we have anything else to note. So one thing to note, yes, is that I forgot, is that these sessions here, they do not have the subtitle live online only. They will be recorded and uploaded shortly after the presentation. We do this for a number of reasons, one of which is that there's just no ultimate time zone, and we can't expect people in the other side of the world to be up at 1 o'clock in the morning watching a plenary session. And so we record it, upload it. There, like I said, there is a discussion board there for the plenary speakers to ask questions. The same update, the same situation on day 2 and 3. I'm going to go ahead and click over on this online only asynchronous tab now. As you can see, this is themed the same way. And we have a number of different moderators here in the session. They will be in charge of the discussion boards. They are our emerging scholars. So I can go ahead and click discuss there. And oh, we can already see that there's some questions here in the chat. So this is a great example. And so these should be filled up by the end of next couple of days. So we can go ahead and see the title of the presentation. You can click on that there, scroll to the bottom, we can see the digital media uploaded. If I'm interested in Kate and I want to know more about her, I can click on her name there and it will take me to her profile page. Each one of you will have a profile page. Actually, great. I'm so fluked it and picked on a great example here because Kate has her picture and all her information uploaded. So I can go ahead and add her as a peer and then connect with her that way. Now, to update your profile page, and I highly recommend you do this, you can go down to account settings under your name here. And that's where you'll find all your information. So your profile, affiliations, interests, contact details, and things like that. Each one of our research networks and each one of our conferences also has what we call a community page. Now, you'll have New Directions in the humanities community page listed here. I have many more because I'm a member of a number of different communities. Let's scroll down. This community page is kind of like a group page in the sense that you can post updates in there. We can post updates in there. You can see who's recently joined the page. I'll go down to updates there. You can have a fast link to the journals. as well as the upcoming conferences, sort of quick link there. So more information about our Meet the Author series in there as well. I will go back to the program. So if you're a little lost, you can always go down to your events here. And click on the title of the conference. Go to the event schedule. Bill was mentioning before the number of, sorry, I want to show you before I continue. So we can see Elena's presentation there. She has a number of 87 engagements. So that's the number of people that have clicked on this page here. Now, I am positive I've talked too quickly and I've missed something. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave my screen on screen share and let you ask any questions if you're not sure about how to engage in the conference, or if I've gone too quickly or said something in not a clear way. You can just unmute yourself if you want to ask anything. Or maybe I haven't been that too quick or unclear as I thought I might be. So what I'm going to do is, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. I can see someone's in the chat. Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention, which is important, which has just been asked. So let's say forging connections. If you're a presenter in this session, you will receive an email when there's a comment in the discussion board. If someone responds to a comment you've made in a discussion board, you will also receive an email. That's how you know people are commenting in the discussion boards. Sorry if that wasn't clear a little earlier. Let me just see if there's any other questions. I'm going to stop my share. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, is it possible to see if people have been viewing your digital media? Well, it's complicated. So you can do it one of two ways, depending on what type of digital media you've uploaded. So you can do it by the number of engagements, which is sort of a loose assumption based on the number of people who have seen your page have probably also seen your digital media. If you have an embedded video from YouTube or Vimeo in there, you can actually go to that direct link and see the number of views on that YouTube or Vimeo page. I hope that's clear, Jonathan. Are there any other? No worries. Are there any other questions? So what I'm going to do as well is just put our email. We're on, that's the support@cgnetworks.org email address. If for some reason you have trouble uploading your digital media, like I said, it can be something as simple as if you open a Zoom meeting with yourself and record it and share your screen, that's your presentation right there. Then you just upload that as an MP4 file. When someone clicks on it, it'll open in a new window. What happens as a result is that this event schedule then kind of becomes an archive or sort of a time capsule of the conference. All the digital media stays there. You can go back and view it anytime. You might see a presentation that you really found interesting and want to go back and look at it again, ask another question. So it's nice in that sense that you can go back and view that again with your registration. Just make sure you're logged in, otherwise you won't be able to see it. So there's that. So get in there, start asking questions, start viewing the digital media. You can look at it in your own time. If you want to look at it session by session, like themed panel, or by individual sessions themselves, it's up to you how you do that. Up to you how you engage with that following tab and make that your own as well. So with that, what I'm going to do is, I'm scared to hang up just in case you have any questions, but I will leave you with that point. And please reach out if you need anything from us. There's a number of you that I will see tomorrow morning. Please join us. We'll have registration and some welcome coffee. And I will also be uploading some photos and other videos throughout the conference. So stay tuned for the daily updates there as well. You'll be getting a daily update email. So see you all online and in person. And thank you very much for your time. Bye.